gonna go build a pond? Let's go build a pond. You got distracted. Good morning, everybody. It is Connor here from Just Add Water, and we are out in Des Moines today, getting ready to start a little bit of a pond surgery on this here feature behind us. So this feature's been struggling with water loss for the past couple of years. The homeowners just moved into it about 1.5 years ago, and now they are looking to get it taken care of. So we've ran a few tests to get stuff set up to determine where the issue's at, and now we're coming in to get the issue resolved. So I'll flip you around, you can take a peek at the feature. We'll talk about the little bit of the testing we did to determine how we know where the water loss is at, and let's talk about how we're gonna fix it. Let's go. So this is the feature we're looking at right now. We're in the homeowner's backyard. The feature right here has got these beautiful waterfalls that point at the back of this house with all these windows. So they got a great view of this feature from anywhere they're at inside their house. So right now we only have these bottom sections of falls running, because that top section up there is where we determined there was a leak at. So in order for us to determine that there was a leak up here, we went ahead and we put a temporary plumbing line in. So what this test consists of is, throughout the course of a couple days, we move the start of this plumbing line to sort of narrow down the section of the feature that's running. So when the feature's fully running and it starts up there, we know we lose a bunch of water. So we took the plumbing line, draped it in this little pooling area, ran it again. We still lost that water. So then we moved the plumbing line from here to in front of those waterfalls, and as that water just went down those couple falls, we stopped losing water. So now we know our issue is back up in this top area. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna go ahead, pull all this stuff out, redo all some dirt work underneath, get another piece of liner put in, get that stretched back. We'll be putting a Biofall 6000 up top here. It'll offer plenty of filtration for the system down below. We're gonna redo this rock work, set some bigger stones out in here to hold grade up, because as you can see with how fast this grade slopes away, all that liner doesn't really have anything holding it up. So we're gonna get some outcropping stones put in here, redo all this grade work, redo the dirt work underneath here, rebuild one waterfall up top here, making sure they get a good view of it and it's not hidden behind this tree. Put everything back together, throw a new plumbing line in that's gonna tie into that biofall, and we should be on and away. That is what we are about ready. Elias's monster just fell over, so looks like he's not gonna be caffeinated today. But that's what we're doing. That's the goal here. We'll be out here a couple days. Day one, we're gonna work on getting this thing ripped apart, get that plumbing line put in, set some of those bigger outcropping stones. And if we get to it, we'll get that biofall set, so then tomorrow can be dirt work. But we're expecting a little bit of rain here in the next couple days. So everything we do today is gonna be trying to make it so we can keep working these next couple days, even if we do get a little bit wet. So let's see what happens, guys. All right, guys, so we got this top portion drained out. We're getting stuff pulled out now. We got our machine back here through that gate. We're getting ready to start pulling everything up. There's actually a couple fish hanging out up in here that went up and through that plumbing line, so they've been returned to the safe haven of the pond down there. But one thing that we're looking at as we get up in here, we drained it all down, and you can see how gross and just black all this stuff is up here. It's just nasty. You can see that there's a little bit of like an oily substance to it. All that up here is death and decay. So everything that you're seeing right now is just something that's not been filtered correctly. So one thing we can go about making sure that this area does not get so gross and stagnant like it is right now is we're actually going to make this area nice and flat. We're not going to have a pooling area up in here like we do right now, because all this water down in here isn't getting turned over. It's just getting stagnant. That's where the cesspit is coming from. So now when we go about putting our biofall up there, we'll also have something that's going to be able to filter this water. It can use all this nasty, gross bacteria that's been broken down and all this death and decay, and it can use it to filter that water. It's going to use it up in the biofall, not down in here where it's just going to get stagnant and turn that water that icky color. So after we put a biofall in here, we should see a little bit of improvement in the water quality throughout here and down in the pond, considering there's no source of biological filtration on the system right now. So we got to get through all this sludge and gunk, get all this gravel pulled out, all these leaves pulled out, all these rocks pulled out, and let's see what happens. Little update, guys. So we got this whole little top part of the stream ripped out. Nemo might not look at it, but you put a little bit of can-do attitude mixed with that beast of a boda, you can move some big rocks. We got that guy out, we got that guy out, we got that big one there out, we got all these big ones up and over here pulled out. So now we have returned to a Blake canvas essentially. So there's the liner leading down into the existing stream that we're going to tie into. We're going to try the best we can to do a flop. We're going to probably end up seaming it together along with the flop just to be safe. And yeah, that'll allow us to then build our stream and everything goes so forth up here. So now that we got all this taken care of, before we cut off our access to this side, we're going to get our berm stones a little bit better set. We're going to get our plumbing line dug in from the skimmer box right down there by that orange reel. We're going to dig it into about just where these rocks are at right now. And we're just going to have it hang out this way so we can tie back into it once we get our Biofall 6000 hooked up. And that way our plumbing line is good to go. So now that that's all prepped, we need to get that cleaned off tomorrow morning so then we can get our liner situated and start doing all of our building. First things first, we're going to get our plumbing line put in. Get all this covered up with our liner tonight because we might get a little bit of rain, but then ideally it doesn't rain tomorrow morning, and maybe not at all tomorrow. If anything, it just pushes itself off forever. But we need to bring some soil in, bring up this back edge a little bit, have a little bit of excess just so we can backfill this. We're probably not going to make it quite as big as it was. We're going to make it more of a rushing, crashing stream as it leads and comes through here towards those big waterfalls and pours down into the pond. So that's where we're at.
Nemo will work.
Morning guys, day 3 out here in West Des Moines on this little bit of this surgery we're doing on this pond with this partial stream tear out and redo. Yesterday was a bit slow moving because we got a little bit of rain. You can see it's a bit wet. We got some standing water in our liner, but at least we got this laid out on top of the area we're going to be working in, so everything below it should be relatively dry. So what we're going to go about doing today, since it rained, we were not able to do our seam yesterday. So one of the first things we're going to do today after we get this water drained is make sure that seam gets prepped, get everything taken care of there, get that all tidied up, and then once that's done, we can fold this all over, finish digging our plumbing line further in over here, get all this shaped exactly perfect how we want it, so then that way we can go about building with all those rocks we have down there, set a couple of our outcropping stones and everything on the back side, and then really get this thing sort of wrapped up and given some shape today, so then tomorrow we can come in, get our biofall installed and get this done 100%. So let's see what we can do today. It's a bit wet like I said, but we got a good attitude. We got Bear here ready to help us out, so it's gonna be a good one. Let's see what happens, guys. Day 4, we got our liner positioned. We have our biofall set. First big rock is in the liner. Not quite where we want it to be at, but we got this here beast of a unit, Nemo. We're gonna flop this liner that way, get a bit closer and set that rock a bit further over there. My hand doesn't point well like that. I'll flip you around. So here we are. We got our liner laid out, our biofalls installed. This first rock is gonna get sort of turned more, so the inside of it is pretty close to even with our biofall, but that's really gonna make it so this water can kick out and around. Right now where we're starting our system at, it's going to be blocked by this tree, and we want to make sure we get a good waterfall to view someplace over here up on the porch towards the windows, down towards that fire pit. So we want to get it out and around so then they can see that waterfall as it comes this way and whatnot. So today we're going to try to get all of our rock work done in the stream. We're going to start by setting these couple big rocks we have. This is one of the bigger ones that we have to set. We're going to take this longer guy and sort of move him up here so we can do a better job hiding this. I think this big one's going to do pretty good on the far side of the stream over by Duchess over there, I think, or back in this corner. And then we also have this big one right here that I think we can stand up pretty close to the back side. We'll probably use as our other shoulder to give us some real big height sort of back in this area over here. Let's see what we can get done today. Duchess. 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 You want to build a pond today? You can't tell, but she really wants to build a pond, so let's build a water feature for Duchess. Alright guys, feature we've been working on for the past 4 or 5 days is back up and running. We got our little section of stream that we put on all finished up and all done. We got mulch laid, we got liner cut and tucked, it's all hidden. We're working on cleaning up. While we clean up, why don't you guys check out what this looks like. Let's go.